Hey guys, today I want to share with you a video about 3 case studies that we did for our contest winners for growth on Instagram. So, about a month ago, we held a contest where we gave away growth and consulting services to 3 of you guys. Now, we got over 5,000 submissions, so choosing 3 was no easy task, and it took our entire team over a week to go through all the submissions and pick out just 3. Nevertheless, we were only giving away 3 spots, so we had to make do. What we were looking for in the winners was a unique story, unique style, and somebody who would actually benefit the most from this. So we're looking for people who are content creators, who are already working hard at this and just needed a little bit of a boost to get them to the next level. Now, what we promised to give away was 50,000 followers split among 3 of the winners. The growth campaign ended up yielding 85,000 followers among the 3 winners. So it actually performed a little better than we expected. So the way we did the growth was through one-on-one consulting and helping the winners actually maximize their content and their profiles, helping them create really high quality ads so they would perform well, and helping them by advertising these ads on large influencer accounts. So now I want to walk you through each one of these one by one and show you how the process worked. So up first is Zach Moxley. His Instagram is down to film, and we started the project at 18,000 followers. So here's the social blade. So he was at 18,500 when we began the growth campaign. Now his content is already really good. He's a videographer, he's a traveler, he's a drone pilot. He already collaborated with a lot of other travel influencers. He just needed to get a little bit more exposure to get to the next level. So here's the ad that we helped him create. Now, all of this was his own footage. As you can tell, he's a really talented videographer and he already shoots really epic stuff. So creating an ad with footage like this really maximized his chances of growing faster. So let's go through the results of the campaign. He started out at 18,000 followers. He is now at 58,000 followers. Here's a big spike in the growth. This is where we really pushed him. His content has definitely gone up in terms of engagement. He used to get about 2,000 likes, 1,600 likes or so. He is now getting between 7 to almost 9,000 likes on his content. So he has 58,000 followers, so this is over 10% engagement, which is quite good as far as Instagram goes with the algorithm and everything considered. So Zach's account grew actually 40,000 followers over the course of this campaign, and I think he performed the best because he already had such good content. And I can't stress this enough, you know, a lot of people think that everything comes down to just advertising and getting your stuff posted. And it really doesn't. It comes down to the quality of your content and the quality of your ad. And that is the single most determining factor for the amount of success and growth that you can have.
Definitely has been a pretty wild ride so far. Obviously went from 18K to about 58K, and I've had a ton of messages from people like, what the fuck? How do you do that? Like, everyone's freaking out, and the engagement's been great. It's been steadily still at 10%, and everything's been, every photo I post, people are loving.
Okay, so the second example is Matthias McKinnon. Matthias is a personal trainer, he's into fitness, he does crazy fitness videos and backflips and stuff that's just really visually impressive. So Matthias was at 19,000 followers, he is now at 43,000 followers at the end of this growth campaign. Here's the video that we made for Matthias entirely with his own content to advertise his account.
Killers everywhere, it ain't no place to run. Forgive me for my wrongs, I have just begun. Ain't no mercy, ain't no mercy. Got that purple Lamborghini lurking. Ain't no mercy, ain't no mercy.
So as you can tell, Matthias is already somebody who creates incredible high quality content, and I think he just needed a little bit more exposure on that content to get to the next level and for that content to start getting noticed and shared. I see content like this being shared on a ton of fitness pages all the time, and we gave him a couple little tools and tricks that he could use to really maximize this. So for example, he used to post videos in landscape mode all the time. But what happens when you post a video in landscape mode on Instagram is it takes up a lot less screen space, so people are more likely to scroll through it. So we told him to start making square videos or vertical videos or portrait size videos, so that would take up more screen space. And even a simple tweak like that to his content has definitely improved his views, his everything, his likes. So this is Matthias. He grew about 25,000 followers from the campaign. His engagement has gone up. You can check out his social blade here. And it just goes to show that it doesn't really matter what niche you're in. As long as you're focusing on high quality content, you can make a good ad, and the traffic is the easy part, guys. Getting you posted on large pages, that's just a small piece of it. But everything comes down to your content once again.
And that's a blessing, true. That's a blessing, man, for you guys to like give back like that. That's crazy, because who would have thought? I don't know if y'all would have thought that when y'all first started. Y'all would be y'all be at this point and then giving it back, but it's pretty damn awesome, man, for real. And now my friends think I'm kidding when they thought, I don't know, had 1,000 people hit me up like, yeah, how you growing so fast? I'm like, I researched, I seen High on Life, and I was a week late, and I thought I was out. I thought I was shit to bed if I didn't reach out as soon as possible. But I guess everything's the time and energy and space for certain things. So it was a blessing for me to reach out and then share my story with you guys.
So the third case study that we did was Elena. Elena Ramsey, she is from Australia. And she was basically just starting out. She only had a few posts up, so she didn't have too much stuff. And I think she was at about 900 followers when we started. She's at 22,000 followers now at the end of the campaign. You can see her growth chart here. Now, Alaina didn't have too much content because she's still starting out, so it made it a little trickier for us to create an ad. So here's the ad that we used for her, which is basically just her own photo with a call to action saying, follow Alaina. Now, it still worked, but I think it would have worked better if she had more content to create a video ad. I think video ads they tell more of a story and they show more of what's going on. So at the beginning of the campaign, when she had about 1,000 followers, she was getting about 200 to 500 likes. Now, at the end of it, she's got 22,000 followers and she gets between 2,000 to 3,000 likes, 3,400 likes on this photo. So it's well over 10% engagement, which is usually what brands look for when they work with influencers. They look for that engagement metric. So she's off to a great start, and between the three of them, Alaina grew about 22,000 followers, Matthias grew about 25,000 followers, and Zach grew about 40,000 followers. So we did over 85,000 followers for these three case studies, which is well over 50K, which is what we promised. So the reason I'm sharing this video with you guys is for you to be able to see that it's doable no matter who you are. So these are examples of personal profiles. And keep in mind, personal profiles as a rule are usually harder to grow than theme profiles, or maybe even business profiles in some case. So you really can have a lot of growth really quickly if you are doing the right things. And the formula really isn't rocket science. You have to have just a couple things in place. You have to have a good profile and good content. You have to, and here's where a lot of people actually struggle, having that good content. What defines good content? How do you know that my content is good compared to other stuff? And this is just something that you have to be objective about. You know, we all have a tendency to be attached to our own content that we produce and to think that it's good, to want to think that it's great, but you really need to see how it compares up against everything else that's out there. Maybe getting other people's opinion, maybe getting some honest opinions from not your friends, from strangers about your work, about your content. Now, if you're not a content creator, if you're curating, and if you want to see a video about curating, check out our 100,000 followers in 48 hours video. So if you're curating, this is definitely a much easier process. This is a faster process because you don't have to focus on doing that. There's pros and cons to having a curation versus a creation account. Obviously, a lot of people like to have that personal brand. So yeah, coming back, let's bring this full circle. Number one, your content is king. If you have good content and if you have an abundance of it, growing will be easier for you. Number two is advertising. Make sure you're making a good ad so that when other people see it, they want to follow you. They're enticed to follow you. Number three is getting yourself posted on large pages. Now, the way you can go about this is you can either pay somebody to do this, or you could hustle, you could network with people, you can cross-promote, you can collaborate. And you might have to pay to get started to kind of get yourself a little bit of momentum, but that's okay because the money that you can make back from this is gonna be tenfold. And I think that pretty much sums it up. So I hope you found this video useful. I hope seeing these case studies, seeing how this works for other people can give you some ideas of how you can take these principles and apply it to yourself. Now, if you want to go deeper, if you want to get into discussions about every little step of the way, like what kind of content is good, how to create good content, how to use every feature of Instagram to actually maximize the performance of your content, how to work within the algorithm and how to get your stuff to go viral, how to collaborate, how to network, how to work with people, how to get into those communities or create those communities yourself, how to monetize, how to market, all of these things. If you want to go deeper into it, we have a link in the description. Make sure you check out that link, make sure you sign up, and you can learn more. You can join other people just like you who are interested in actually making this work for themselves. Now, of course, if you like this video, please share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments and we will do our best to answer them. See you.